Anyway, so I was in the car with this guy, and he says, "So, what are you?" I says, "What am I?" I says, "I'm a Catholic priest. What are you?" He goes, "Everybody knows what I am, and I'm a Muslim." And he was all dressed up, and he was really a happy Muslim, and he was a very theological Muslim, you know? And we had a really, really good debate in the car. You know, so he's giving me all his standard, like, Catholic Christian stuff. "So, you believe God has a son, eh?" You know, and I'm like, "Yes, matter of fact, I do." He says, "Oh, it's impossible for God to have a son." I said, "You know, I know some people who believe that. You know, they believe that it's impossible, but we believe, you know, that God had a son." I says, "We believe that God has a mother, imagine." He goes, "Yeah, I know. This is impossible." I said to him, because he kept his favorite word that he kept saying, "Impossible!" And he didn't know I was setting him up. So every time he kept saying, "That's impossible!" And I was saying, "Yeah, I can understand why you feel that way." And then I wound up saying to him, I said, "But you know, if somebody believes in a God for whom something is impossible for that God to do," says, "I would have big questions about the authenticity of if this is actually the real and true God." The conversation shifted. He said, I was easy on him, you know. I didn't want to body sleep, you know what I mean? I didn't want to go like a theological body sleep, you know. And we was very friendly. We would go back in, and we actually found common ground, you know, because on prayer, okay? This is not an anti-Muslim state, even though there's a lot of problems, okay, with understanding and the way that we hear about it and experience it, okay? And this is not getting to all that stuff. What does this have to do with adoration? Everything. Because then I started talking about prayer. This guy was talking about prayer. And these people, these cab drivers, they have places all the Muslims go. They put us to shame. Cab drivers stop when it's time to pray. They pull the cab up. They have places with prayer rugs facing Mecca, underneath bridges. They have water jugs because they have to wash their hands. They have to face a certain direction, and they have to take time to pray. 5 times a day. They're up early. They go to bed late. They pray. They stop their work and they pray. Can't get you to go to church every Sunday. Go figure. And these are cab drivers. And these guys stop and they go and they pray. And so we're talking about prayer. And he says, and his reason why he understands, why his understanding is that it's impossible, you know, for God to have a son, is because they have this amazing, it's a big word, like transcendent, so above and beyond us, that God, that just God can't do that. They can't, their reason is just like, you know, that's just as far as their reason will go. Can't stretch it, snaps into it. You know, it doesn't work anymore. But we have a beautiful thing about prayer. You see, because, you know, when we come before God, you know, they have this total feeling of awesomeness. And you know, you got people walking in our church, you can't shut them up. They come in snapping gum. I see people come up to receive. I hear non-Catholic Christians saying, if you guys really believe that Jesus is really, truly present, he says, I have to crawl up on my belly up in the aisle. I wouldn't even get to walk. You know, and we come in, we don't even genuflect. You know, when people go to, you know, say, body of Christ, and they go like this. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, where did Jesus want to go? Upstairs, downstairs. When they're right with God, of submitting to God and praying before Him, it's just sheer awesomeness. So all they can do is recite things, they say their prayers, and they bow down. That's why they're posture at prayer. When these camp guys say they put their rugs down, they face Mecca, their butts go up in the air, their heads go up. That's how they pray this. completely awesome. It's completely awesome. So their first experience in praying, in being in the presence of God, they have a sense of being in the presence of God. It's very Jewish. In case you didn't know, Jesus, he was Jewish. So was his mother. If I said that to my Italian grandmother, if I said, hey, no, I said, you know that Ave Maria, she was Jewish. My grandmother weren't. She was snapping right there. So shut up, your mouth. No, Ave Maria, no Jew. Shut down. But that's a very, very Jewish notion. We have the sanctuary lamp burning all the time. That goes back deep into the history of the people of God, the Jewish people. Our elderly brothers and sisters in the faith, as a sign of God's presence, indicating that the presence of God at that temple for them was everything. That's why when the temple was destroyed, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know where the presence of God was. And also the presence of God comes walking along the Sea of Galilee. And they didn't know. And when he just walked up to them and said, follow me, they just dropped everything and they went after him. You're like, why? What does that mean? These people grew up their whole life with an ingrained sense of presence.